Hello, citizens. This is Dr. Bob Flower with your Master Pattern Report for Tuesday, July 24th. How are you all today? Um, okay, so what's going on? Well, let's take a look at where we are at with our portfolio. Currently, we are out of all of our positions except for we're still long Wendy's. Uh, we're still short oil, even though we got stopped out. We jumped back in around $91, and we even though it may bounce around here, we still are looking for a significant drop in oil. We're short J.P. Morgan. Um, and on the long side, and there is a long side to some degree right now, we're long Whole Foods for a bit. Okay, and we're looking for the S&P to make a run here up. Uh, it's really a very strong. I know there's this resistance point around that 1375 level, but I think from what I'm seeing in these patterns that it's going to make a run for that 1400 level um, before it tanks. Okay, um, uh, all gold and silver are really weak here, and I wouldn't be surprised if our silver dropped down to around that 23 $24 level that we've been talking about for a while now. And if in fact that happens, I think that's just another prime indicator to me that that something dramatic is coming in August, as we've been predicting right now. The chart the last chart that we put up on our website showed a major uh, incident sometime between August 13th and September 14th. So you can go to our website, www.masterpattern.net, and look at those charts and whatever is new coming up to check that out. And I would be, again, very, very cautious. I don't like being in bank stocks, except for on the short side right now. Um, they may make a run here, but I'm not a fan, and I think you're only looking for trouble. Um, and on the long side, if you're a short term, if you're a trader, talk to your broker. But I definitely think that the S&P is going to. It looks like it's going to make a little bit of a run here, up to that 1400 level or around there before it starts its regression. Okay, so and the only other thing I can tell you is, once again, be very careful. Um, I really am liking as an investment, real estate investment. If you're considering a home, something to live in, I think that right now is a great time to be buying in. With prices down, rates at historic lows. I mean, historic. You can get a 30-year for like 3.5%. I mean, man, and forget it. It's definitely a good time to be buying. All right. Especially if you're looking for a home, something that not necessarily going to be an investment short term, but 10, 15, 20 years down the road be a fantastic value for you. Okay, so now I want to comment a little bit on this Penn State issue, and there's something that I want to bring up and have a intelligent discussion about. Here, I checked this out, and here are the facts. The facts are that this guy was first class scumbag. I mean, he was a sick puppy. Um, uh, Paterno, and I want to talk specifically about Paterno. Paterno did report to his superiors that there was something going on, and it seems like he did it more than once, maybe twice. Not only did the president of the college and perhaps some of the athletic director know about this, but there was a police chief who has since passed away, maybe about 4 years ago, who was well aware of this and was on record of having received the complaint and did nothing about it. Now look, when you're in a position, for those of you whom I'm sure that work for institutions or large corporations, when you're down the totem pole, and I don't care how famous you are, when you're down the totem pole, you don't buck the people up on top unless you're willing to give everything up, right? And there's very few people that do that, and the reason why, well, let me just say that, and I'm not justifying what Paterno did. Listen to me carefully. What I'm saying is that in at least one instance, he did report what was going on with this guy. After a while, he actually, not only did he cut him loose from the coaching staff, but then after a subsequent period of time, he banned him from using the Penn State facilities, athletic facilities and whatnot. Okay? So he did take what people may say were minimal steps here. He did take the steps. Now, did he do something wrong? I don't think he did something wrong. I think that he didn't do something right. Okay? He didn't take the right step. He didn't take a big enough step. Okay? Especially with his celebrity. But now comes the point. There were maybe 18 or 20, let's say there were 30 victims here. And nobody's going to minimize that. Okay? That didn't come forward until just recently. Assuming that that's the case, do we take the steps that have been taken against Joe Paterno when you consider that this man, over what is it, 50 years, has been an educator of the highest level, has helped as many young men and women in their development, has been a sincere, honest person who has taught nothing but values and virtue, not only to his children, but to his whole community, has given millions of dollars to the university and to charity. Think of all the thousands, now listen to me, thousands of kids that this man has helped and inspired. And I think that there's an emotional reaction here that's out of sync with the measure of priorities. Okay? Should he have been reprimanded and fired? Okay, all right, fine. But to go as far as they're going with this man, especially since he nor his family have had the opportunity really to present evidence of what actually happened. You know, does one act wipe out all of the good that this man's life has stood for? You be the judge. I'm not judging. I'm just presenting a different light than what the NCAA and everybody else is proposing. I mean, they're going to wipe out Penn State. Penn State may not come back for 10 to 15 years the way they've structured this whole thing, and the people that they've involved. And again, when I know of several people who have been influenced by the Paterno family and Mystique, who are who have said that their lives have been built on the values and the effort that Paterno put forth. Okay, I'm going to leave that, and you can have your discussions about it. Just another perspective, and there's no insensitivity to the victims. That's not part of what I'm about here. What I'm saying. Um, there's something else I want to talk about quickly about the politics and economics of what's going on in this country. I've heard the president say more than once over the past, I don't know, 2 years or so, that over the past 10 years, the system didn't work. Well, I don't know where this guy's been, but if you go back 10 years, the system absolutely worked. I mean, don't forget, 2000 we had that horrible internet crash, the internet bubble crash, where a lot of people got hurt pretty bad, and then we came back. The market started to come back. We had the greatest real estate boom in the history of the world between 2002 and 2007. A lot of people did very, very well. A lot of poor people did very, very well. Yes, it crashed. Yes, it didn't work. But there were a lot of good things that developed during that period. A lot of systems, the donut issue with the seniors, with the Medicare and whatnot. Now, I propose to you that it's not capitalism or the system that's broken. It's the administration of capitalism that's not working. It's the people who are in charge that are not working. They're not doing their job. To say that, well, business or Wall Street or banks shouldn't be doing the things that they did, no kidding. It's like telling your kid that he shouldn't lie, or he shouldn't take the cookies, or he shouldn't do something wrong. Really? We know that, but we also know that those things are going to happen. Now, you need the regulations, which we certainly have enough regulations. We need the authorities to enact the resolution of these what am I trying to say, folks? You know what I'm trying to say. They shouldn't be allowed off the hook and have only banks and the Wall Street and the investors taking it on the chin. I mean, what are we paying these people for? Why do we have them in office? Why do we have regulations if nobody's going to enforce them? That is the job of government, and this is why big government doesn't work. This is why government itself doesn't work. I mean, we're looking at a bankruptcy of the United States postal system, which they're holding off until after the election. I mean, are you kidding me? What is it, like I understand there's like 800,000 jobs that are going to be lost with this throughout the country. I mean, what is going on here? Who is bull crapping who here? This is unheard of. Do the job. They're not doing the job. What they're trying to do is maintain power and control over the world, and they're trying to change the world to their way of thinking instead of the way they want to change the Constitution. Gun control and more handouts and hey. 1880s, Tombstone territory. You don't walk into the local hardware store and ask for a welfare check. Not unless you want a bullet in your rectum. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Whatever happened to rugged individualism, for God's sake? We're not educating people as to how to be wealthy, how to be successful, how to be rich, how to accomplish things. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're trying to show them, and the people that are in control and they're going to for advice couldn't get out of their own way. They're not succeeding, and they don't understand themselves what it's about. Well, I'll tell you, you guys, you got me going here. I mean, this government, I mean, we're headed for a crash, big time crash. I mean, where things are going to be so radically different. I mean, look at just this little bit more. Look at Scranton, Pennsylvania. Those poor bastards there, guys, cops and firemen and sanitation men making what, $22 an hour, and all of a sudden they're making $7 an hour. That is a disaster. That is what you're going to see. And you're going to see it not just in the public sector, you're going to see that in the private sector. I mean, you're already seeing it with guys that were making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year, can't get a job, and have been out of work 2 and 3 years. Right? You're going to see a lot more of that, folks. You're going to see a lot more of the biblical weeping and gnashing of teeth. Wake up, wake up. We have to take control. We have to take control. We'll be talking more about this. And next week, I'm looking for a move on the 31st, Tuesday, with silver and oil. And next Thursday, the 2nd, another move with silver on the 2nd. All right? Go to our website, look at some of the charts and our investments there, and have a good week.